With the 2026 NBA Summer League coming to a close, I wanted to give my biggest winners and losers from this year in Vegas. And just because I have someone as a winner or a loser doesn't mean they are going to be the best or an absolute bust this season. It just means that they performed a bit better or worse than I expected heading into Summer League, so let's jump into it. And I think we can all agree that the top 4 picks from this year's draft were all winners of Summer League. Dybantsa needed just 2 outings to convince the Washington Wizards he had nothing left to prove after averaging 25 points and looking like the best player on the floor in both of the games that he played. Then you have Darryn Peterson, who definitely struggled with his efficiency, but was still extremely impressive with his creation and tough shot making while still averaging over 20 points per game. Then there's Cameron Boozer, who looked like maybe the most polished rookie in this year's draft class with averages of 20 points, 7 rebounds, 3.5 assists, and 2 steals. And finally, we have Caleb Wilson, who I am actually labeling as my first official winner of Summer League. Wilson averaged 24.5 points on 51% shooting. He hit 48% of his threes and added 1.5 steals plus 3 blocks per game. And the wildest numbers to me is that he made 7 threes during his entire season at North Carolina as a freshman, and then in his Summer League debut, he made 7 as well. And the shooting he has shown will absolutely unlock everything for him. Defenders can no longer sag off, which gives him cleaner driving lanes and more space to attack closeouts. His mechanics also look smoother and more compact than I thought, and Chicago already knew it was getting an explosive athlete and disruptive defender when they drafted Caleb Wilson, but now if this jumper is even more respectable than we thought, Wilson has a real chance to become the centerpiece of the Bulls' next era. But my first loser of Summer League is actually the guy drafted right behind Caleb Wilson at number 5, and that's Keaton Wagler. Although I am not close to giving up on him yet, Wagler averaged 15.5 points, but he shot only 34% and struggled to create separation against physical defenders that we find in the Summer League. And I think Wagler looks even worse because several guards drafted behind him immediately appeared comfortable in Summer League, and when defenders crowded him, Wagler often had trouble reaching his spots or turning the corner. But I still think there were some positives for him. He protected the ball well, made smart reads, and then erupted for 18 points in the third quarter against Utah and outplayed Darryn Peterson there. And that stretch showed the shot making and feel that made him a top 5 pick. But I still have him as a loser because other guards around him definitely outplayed him, but the Clippers should still stay patient and keep developing him because the flashes he showed were promising. But maybe the biggest winner we have from Summer League is Brayden Burries of the Milwaukee Bucks, and Burries to me looked like one of the most NBA-ready rookies in Las Vegas. He scored 67 points across 3 games, shot 50% from the field, 44% from 3, and delivered 12 assists with only 1 turnover, and the level of control he showed was the biggest takeaway for me. Burries never looked rushed, even when defenders pressured him. He stayed balanced, created separation with polished footwork, and made plays both on and off the ball. He also produced 3.5 stocks per game, so this was not just empty scoring. And Milwaukee is now entering a new era without Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Burries has a real opportunity to claim a major role immediately. And his shooting, defense, rebounding, and secondary creation all fit, and he's going to immediately be one of their top players next season and looks capable of competing for first team all-rookie honors to me. But my next loser is actually the Milwaukee Bucks' other rookie, and that's Ament, and I just needed to see more signs that his upside could translate quickly in this year's Summer League. The 13th pick entered Vegas as a major risk-reward prospect, but he totaled only 21 points, 3 assists, and 7 turnovers through his first 3 games. But now, in his 4th game, he did end with 23 points and 6 rebounds in just 23 minutes, but his plus-minus was still the worst on the team at -9. And at 6'10", Ament is supposed to offer a rare mix of shooting, passing, and ball handling, and there were definitely flashes, but instead, for the most part of Summer League, he has looked passive, physically underdeveloped, and too easy to move off of his spots. And I think Brayden Burries looking ready almost immediately made Ament's struggle stand out even more to me, but I still think Ament could develop into a solid player, but from the looks of it, it's just going to take time, and that was always expected. Now, my next winner is actually Dallas rookie Morez Johnson Jr., and Morez was one of the guys that I thought really needed to take a step forward in the Summer League to prove that he was worthy of the 9th overall pick. But honestly, with his energy and defensive production that he showed, he was one of the clearest winners to me. He averaged 18.5 points, 6.5 rebounds, 2.5 steals, and 3 blocks per game for the Mavericks. And in his debut against his former teammate Yaxel Lendeborg, he exploded for 27 points on 12 of 17 shooting with 8 rebounds, 3 steals, and 3 blocks. Johnson ran the floor, played through contact, and overwhelmed smaller front courts with his motor. And he also showed strong timing as a help defender and a soft touch around the rim. And we know Dallas has a crowded front court right now, but injuries and uncertainty could open up minutes as we've seen in the past. And Johnson already knows Dusty May's system, and his rim protection, physicality, and effort that we've seen so far definitely give him a chance to become an immediate fan favorite there in Dallas, and he looks capable of earning a rotation role much sooner than I originally expected. But going back to the losers, my next one is Aday Mara from Oklahoma City, and this one is more about timeline than the talent that Mara brings. OKC drafted Mara with the 12th pick because a 7'3" center with touch, passing feel, and rim protection upside is definitely worth developing. And in Summer League though, Mara looked much less ready than expected for me. He averaged 9 points, only 1 block, and 3 turnovers per game. He also appeared winded at times and struggled to stay connected defensively against quicker, more athletic bigs. The passing flashes were definitely still there, but the scoring touch came and went, and Oklahoma City can afford to be patient because this roster is already loaded, and Mara's not going to need to play a major role right away, but still, I think the performance in the Summer League showed he may need real development, at least more than I originally thought, for him to be ready to handle NBA pace, spacing, and physicality. But another winner of mine is actually Mara's Michigan teammate, and that's Yaxel Lendeborg from the Golden State Warriors. And Lendeborg is another winner because his game already looks built for an immediate supporting role with the Warriors. Through his first 4 Summer League games, including both the California Classic and in Las Vegas, he went 13 of 21 from 3, at an incredible 62% start. The shooting eventually cooled down, including a 3-point outing against New York, but the larger picture for me is still encouraging. Lendeborg can rebound, he can defend multiple positions, moves the ball extremely well, and has shown the ability to space the floor without needing plays called for him, and that is exactly the type of forward who can survive next to guys like Steph Curry. And he also handled a rough game against Memphis by still producing 15 points and 9 rebounds, and the Warriors are not going to need him to become a star immediately, but they need a reliable player who has size, energy, and versatility, and Lendeborg has already shown he can provide all 3 of those through Summer League so far. Now, my next loser is Dailyn Swain from the Chicago Bulls, and Swain is a loser because the one concern surrounding his game has become impossible to ignore here at Summer League. Chicago gave him more on-ball responsibility, but he has shot just 4 of 31 from the field and missed all 7 of his 3-point attempts. He is averaging only 4.5 points in 28 minutes per game for the Bulls, and Swain was known as being a strong self-creator at Texas last year, yet that skill has not translated against the length and defensive pressure he has seen in Summer League, and the Bulls still have reasons to stay patient, as Swain has a lot of upside with the way he can handle his defense and create advantages when he's able to get downhill, but without a dependable jumper, we've seen defenders go under screens and crowd his driving lanes, and the contrast with how Caleb Wilson has performed in Summer League has made his struggles look even worse to me. But one guy who hasn't been struggling in Summer League is Cameron Carr, and he's another one of my winners because he looked like the exact type of wing the Lakers needed to find. He has averaged 18.5 points in his 3 Las Vegas appearances and scored 23 in a win over the Clippers, but I think what he showed specifically at the California Classic is what makes him such a big winner to me. The jumper has looked smooth and comfortable from all over the floor, and even more importantly, Carr has not played like a one-dimensional scorer. He's competed defensively and recorded at least 1 block in 4 of his 6 Summer League games, and the Lakers needed affordable size and shooting on the wing to go around Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves, and Carr gives them both of those things and has a real chance to earn minutes from the beginning of the season. But my next loser is Isaiah Evans, because a shooter cannot go through Summer League without making shots and avoid concern. Evans opened Las Vegas by going 2 of 23 from the field and 0 of 15 from 3, which hurt because his value is built so much around perimeter scoring. At Duke, he expanded from a catch-and-shoot specialist into a legitimate second option behind Cameron Boozer with the Blue Devils, and I truly thought Minnesota had found a steal in the second round when they drafted him. But the good news is that he bounced back a bit in Minnesota's game against the Pacers, finishing with 22 points and hitting 4 threes, but his efficiency was still not the best as he went 4 of 15 from deep in that game. And Minnesota should definitely stay patient, as this is only Summer League, but he has not strengthened his case as a guy who could play a role off the bench immediately for the Timberwolves like I thought. But maybe the biggest winner of the entire NBA Summer League was Meleek Thomas from the Cleveland Cavaliers, because the second-round guard led Las Vegas in scoring with 28.5 points per game while shooting 50% from the field, 46% from 3, and 100% from the free throw line. He is also averaging 4.5 assists, less than 2 turnovers per game, and 2.5 steals. And the production he has showed is more than just a microwave scorer that a lot of people thought he was. Thomas created for his teammates, he's shown the ability to pressure the ball, and plays with the confidence of a first-round pick. And Cleveland needs cheap contributors because so much of its payroll is tied to the stars like Donovan Mitchell, James Harden, and Evan Mobley. And from what we've seen, I think Thomas has a real path to a role off the bench for the Cavaliers. And based on Summer League so far, I think the Cavs may have found one of the best value picks in the entire draft this year. Over 100 NBA games played, should look above Summer League competition, but instead, the former 10th overall pick finished scoreless in 23 minutes against the Clippers and has not separated himself from the younger prospects we have seen. And I was excited to see Williams in Las Vegas after the flashes I saw in the Salt Lake City Summer League, but he has just not lived up to what I thought he would be. Utah's roster is crowded with young players who need minutes, and Williams has not secured his place there, and that's why he's in the Summer League to begin with. His path cannot depend on only potential anymore. He needs to defend consistently, attack with confidence, and show how he can make open shots without disappearing when the game gets going. And Summer League was supposed to be his chance to demonstrate that, and instead, I think it created more uncertainty around him. Now, Williams definitely still has a bit more time to develop, but I think with all the mouths they have to feed there in Utah now, the Jazz are going to struggle to justify regular season minutes unless his production becomes more dependable. And my last winner from Summer League is Bruce Thornton from the Houston Rockets, and I'll admit it, I did not like this pick for the Rockets initially, but from what he has shown so far, he is definitely changing my mind. Thornton was the 31st pick in this year's draft and is averaging 21.5 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals across 4 games in the Summer League, while also shooting 44% from 3. And so far, he has shown the ability to get to his spots, make quick decisions, and compete defensively. And I know Houston's backcourt is crowded right now, so we may see him in the G League a decent bit this upcoming season, but I still think his skill set fits what Ime Udoka values, and that's someone who can pressure the ball, play with or without another creator on the floor, and punish defenses for leaving him open. And right now, Thornton looks like a second-round pick who could become useful much sooner than I originally expected. And my final loser has to be Drake Powell from the Brooklyn Nets, because the second-year first-round pick is having one of the worst summer leagues of all time. Powell opened the event by making only one of his first 28 shots and missing all 14 of his three-point attempts, and then he finally broke through with 18 points on 60% shooting against Sacramento, including 4 made threes in that one, but then followed it up with 6 points on 1 of 6 shooting in his next game. And the misses are not the only concern to me. Powell also failed to make a consistent impact as a defender, rebounder, or cutter when his jumper disappeared, and Brooklyn gave him 21 minutes per game as a rookie, so this summer was supposed to show a lot of progress, but instead, I think it's exposed how dependent his value remains on his scoring. And the biggest takeaway I have from it is that he must be able to influence games even when the shot isn't falling. But that wraps it up for my biggest winners and losers from the 2026 NBA Summer League. Let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are and who is your biggest winner and loser. Also, if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.